Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. We're merely 1 week away from Halloween with pumpkins and murder and mandated vaccines. We're handing out blue buckets to point out autism, hoping that if we can blend in with them by making them stand out, we can fight for the cause with them. Or maybe we should just love our neighbors, whether they're completely different or all the same. Tom and I love all of you and just laugh our balls off at insane. We love Brads and Karens. We love when they spaz. We're staring. We love nosy people, pushy people, tough guys, and pussy people. We love logical, well mannered folks and rednecks and Jews. We love Christians and city folks. They give us all kinds of topics to choose. Today will be a fun show. Like a Baldwin, we're going off with a bang. Thank you to all the number niners who came here to hang. Ghouls and witches, without further ado, I bring to you Tommy fucking Washington. What's been up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Pat. I'm good. Had a pretty relaxing day the last couple days. Got a lot of stories to tell you in this opening segment here.
Before we do that, I said the thing about the blue Halloween bucket.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
How? Okay, so they say that if somebody has one of those blue pumpkin buckets for their Halloween candy, it's an autistic child, and you should be more patient with them. You know, if they don't say trick or treat, or if they don't say please and thank you, or if they don't talk at all. Why the fuck do we have to make these fucking children with autism, not autistic kids, children with autism? Why do we have to make them stand out in order for adults to treat them like with decency? Is that not the most insane fucking rule you've ever heard?
Pat, that's the world that we live in, bud.
We're literally telling adults to not be fucking assholes to children with blue buckets. You can be a fucking piece of shit to the rest of them, but the ones with blue buckets are special needs. Maybe you treat them differently. You know, maybe they're 17, maybe they're older than your standard, whatever fucking reason you would be an asshole to a kid, or on Halloween be an asshole to a kid. Don't do it to the ones with blue buckets. This is the most ridiculous fucking thing I can imagine.
The way I see it is, now I know which kids is being an asshole to. It's the ones with the blue buckets.
Real nice.
I'm just saying, like, why would I treat them any differently than I would treat any other kid?
I agree. Not only that, doesn't this have the potential? I mean, here's the thing. They're not idiots, okay? Children dealing with autism are not your stereotypic old school definition of the word retarded. So won't they eventually pick up on the fact that blue buckets are for special needs kids and be like, I don't want a fucking blue bucket? So then the next year, when they don't carry a blue bucket, you're going to be a fucking asshole to them because they don't have their fucking blue bucket marker on them.
Here's the thing, right? Like, everybody, I think those kids want to have the title on them. Everybody wants to be what's the word? And I'm not saying these kids in general, I'm saying everybody as a collective.
They want to be special.
No, they want to have a title. They want to have a it's like the transgenders. They want to have
an individual.
Nope, they want to be labeled. They want to be labeled. That's what I was looking for.
Tom, I don't know how bad the audio on this show is going to be because I've moved my microphone about 7 times and we're about 30 seconds in.
It sounds fine, Pat. It sounds fine. Okay. Everything's great. Great. Up and up. So, anyway, getting away from the blue buckets. Yesterday Colin had his game. It was a night game, actually. Pretty cool to play.
I was trying to figure out, you just answered a question for me because you said Colin's game is at 6 or 6:30, whatever you texted me, if you and Miss Elizabeth want to come. And I was like, how the fuck are we doing the podcast then? Because that whole time I thought you meant tonight. I actually thought you skipped his game.
I should have, but I did not.
Anyways.
Yeah, they got smoked. But anyway, so this leads me into my first story. Okay, so Friday night, Colin went and slept over at a friend's house, got invited to a birthday party last minute. So he went over, it was a couple of kids from the football team. And kids being kids, they stayed up all hours of the night, didn't get any sleep. So Eric and I got up Saturday and said, we went out to breakfast and we texted Colin and said, "Hey, what time do you want us to pick you up?" He said like 2 o'clock. Now, mind you, we have to leave by 3:15 to get to this game because it was in fucking Brantford.
Sure.
Okay. So we're like, it's kind of late. Don't you want to come home and take a nap first? Because he didn't tell us that they were up all hours of the night. We knew that because they're kids. That's what they do.
You're not idiots.
So he's like, "No, I'm still hanging out, whatever." So he gets here, he comes, and I'm on my computer, I'm playing video games, and he's like, "I'm so tired." And I'm like, "Well, idiot, maybe you should have came home and took a nap like we said, duh." So, whatever. He falls asleep for like half an hour. Erica wakes him up and gets ready for a game. We go to the game. Halftime at the game, we see the coach talking to Colin. I'm like, what the hell's going on over there, you know? Then after halftime, Colin's sitting down on the sideline and has one of the the medical trainers, come over and start evaluating him. We have no idea what's going on. You would think that they would send you a message or something like, "Hey, this is what's going on with your kid," or whatever. But we just watch the game, watch them get murdered, and then we leave and we ask Colin like, "Hey, well, why did you sit out? What happened?" "Oh, I have a really bad headache. I kept getting hit in the head. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Huh. Do you think maybe it's because you didn't get any sleep that you have a headache?" There's sport. And so like, and I'm annoyed, right? And I'm not annoyed that he may have gotten injured. I don't want him to be injured, right? I'm annoyed because he didn't listen to our advice to come home and take a nap. So now I don't know if he's really injured because I didn't see anything that happened to him that would make me think he had a head injury.
Right.
Right. So, and and he's like, "Why are you mad?" I'm like, "I'm not mad. Honestly, I'm concerned. Like, I don't know if you're joking or like, and I shouldn't say joking. I don't know if you are saying you have a headache to get out of playing because you're tired. I don't know if you have a headache because you didn't get enough sleep. I don't know if you have a headache because you haven't been taking your allergy medicine like we've been telling you to." Right? So, whatever. We get home. He goes to bed. He ate dinner, went to bed. It was like 10:30 probably. Sleeps till 10:30 this morning. Okay? Nice. So, obviously, he was tired. But I told him before he went to bed, I said, "You're going to tell us," I said, "take 2 ibuprofen before you go to bed and wake up. And when you wake up, we'll see how you feel." So, he comes downstairs when he wakes up this morning. And I'm like, "How's your head?" He goes, "Oh, it still hurts a little bit, but it's not as bad." And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Take 2 ibuprofen, and then I'll check on you in about an hour." So I assume he took 2 ibuprofen. I have no idea. And then he goes and starts playing on his computer. And I'm kind of like iffy on him playing. Like, if you have a headache, you shouldn't be on the computer. It's not great to be staring at computer screens. And so, okay. So about an hour and a half goes by, and I tell him to come here. Comes over. "How's your head?" "I'm still got a headache and a little dizzy." I said, "Okay. So we're going to take you to go get," and I told him this yesterday, but I said, "Okay, then we're taking you to the ER to have your head checked. There's Scoop." And he's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "I told you, like, this isn't a joke, dude. Like, brain injuries is not a joke. I can only take you for what you're telling me and believe what you're saying. So if you're wasting my time, you need to tell me. If you said this to get out of playing football, you need to tell me. If you're just tired, you need to tell me." And so he wrote it. He wrote it hard. Took him to the ER. Doctor said he might have a mild concussion, and he's not allowed to be on his computer. So, but it's a win-win for this kid, right? But now we've told him, like, you can't, because it also says you can't watch TV. You have to limit how much you watch TV. And I'm pretty sure that's all he's been doing all day. And we told him, like, but he's sitting up in his room, which I don't know why he's not, but it can't be on his phone. They don't want him to read. It actually even says on his thing for him not to do homework. And that if he has a headache in the morning, that he's not to go to school. And if he gets a headache at school, he has to leave school.
Jeez.
Can you believe all this shit? What
Works
kind
out
of
well.
what kind of soft ass shit is this? Right? So, okay. So that's number 1, Pat. So, again, I hope he's okay. I hope he really doesn't have a concussion. Erica's gonna take him to the pediatrician tomorrow to clear him to see if he can play football or not. I already told him, like, they're probably not gonna let you because it's not a joke. Like, these head
This kid don't
injuries.
give a fuck. If this kid can barely walk because he's so dizzy and still has a splitting headache, tomorrow he will be perfectly fine when he walks in that hospital because he does not want to lose video games any longer.
Especially while his dad's been playing video games all day. Like,
You're gonna find out real toughness.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. Anyway, it's back to the whole everybody wants to have they want to be labeled. And Colin wants to be able to walk around and say, I got a concussion playing football because he thinks it's cool.
I mean, it is pretty badass. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he'd have to make a hit or somebody would have to hit him. And I didn't see any of that happening yesterday. So, I don't know what happened. Either way.
Valid.
So, Pat, as you may know, sports gambling is not legal in Connecticut.
Yes, sir, it is.
I tried to get on FanDuel because that's who Pat McAfee has a deal with them. So why wouldn't I support FanDuel? You know what I mean? They also are at Mohegan, which is my preferred casino to go to.
What do you mean you tried to get on FanDuel?
I'm going to tell you. So I've had a FanDuel account. I've never been able to use it other than fantasy stuff. And I don't know what happened. I logged in. I tried to reset my password and it said, contact us, blah, blah, blah. I contacted them yesterday and it said it's been brought over to our accounts team. They'll contact you. I said, well, I contacted them 3 days ago in an email. It said that they would get back to me in 12 hours. It's been 3 days. They have not. So thank you for being useless and thank your accounts team for not doing their jobs. I'll go use another platform. So I downloaded DraftKings. Now,
okay,
Pat, do you know anything about parlays?
Yeah.
So on DraftKings, you can do up to a 20-game parlay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I did one yesterday. Like, I was messing around with it, seeing what the payouts would be. I did a 20-game parlay yesterday. The payout for $25 would have been $3 million.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm one hit away from hitting that.
Really?
If the 49ers win tonight, I win $3 million.
I have difficulty believing you.
Yeah, it's not true. Because they're doing this. So I did a 7-game parlay. I lost because the Chiefs are fucking garbage. Hot garbage. Nobody should ever pick the Chiefs moving forward.
They're so bad.
They're potentially the worst team in the NFL. If they were playing the Lions, I potentially would pick the Lions over the Chiefs.
Here's the thing. If you remember, we did everybody's Super Bowl odds at the beginning of the season before the season started. Chiefs were number 1. Bucks were number 2.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl champions were picked behind the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs cannot fucking buy a win.
I wonder what their that might be a bet to take right now, dude. What their Super Bowl odds are right now.
Oh, that would be a good bet.
I might have to check that out before the end of the episode. But anyway, so I do an 8-game parlay. I actually think I hit all of them except for that fucking Chiefs game. But that's neither here nor there. Now, DraftKings was also doing it's not really a free bet, but a bet where if you lost, they gave you your money back up to $25. So I did a 3-game parlay, or it was in a single game, it was a parlay bet, and you had to do 3 bets, right?
Yeah.
So I picked the Jets in the Patriots game. The under/over was 42.5. What would you have picked?
I would have picked the under. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I picked the over. Okay.
Okay.
I picked the spread was 6.5. The Patriots were giving 6.5. They were minus 6.5. So I picked that. And then I picked the player prop, which was Mac Jones to score a touchdown at any point in a game. Okay. Now, if you see that as a prop, wouldn't you think that if he throws a touchdown or runs it in, he scores a touchdown at any point?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's what normal people would think. But if you're betting that, No, it's he has to be the one in the end zone with the ball. So it's not a passing TD. Yeah. So I lost $325 today because I didn't know that. Because I hit the over, I hit the fucking spread, and Mac Jones scored a touchdown, but they were throwing touchdowns, not running touchdowns.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I'm super upset. So so my boy Griff, our boy Griff, is heavy into the bets, right? I don't want to say heavy, but he understands them. So I'm like halfway through the game, I text him and I'm like, hey, just curious, like a throwing touchdown is a touchdown at any point, right? And he goes, yeah. And then we both Google it, and he's like, nah, man, I would have thought the same thing. So yeah, I'm 0-2 on my bets right now. And I lost $25 playing roulette. Down $75 first weekend.
Can you bet whatever you want? Like, is there a penny table, a quarter table?
They started at 10 cents.
Yeah, see, that's fun.
Yeah, it's all right. I messed around with I won a little bit of money yesterday. I kept ending up even. And then today I won about $60 and pissed it back. So that was cool.
Nice.
But yeah, not really not too thrilled about that. Like I told Griff I was gonna uninstall the app. The only reason I haven't is because they're giving me my $25 back to make another bet. So gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. But after that, I'm done. I'm super upset. Actually, I'm gonna look while we're talking about this. Another thing I don't like is every time I log in, I have to re-log in, and then for some reason it sends me an email telling me that I logged in.
Nice.
Super
good for you to find that out.
Yeah. Let's see. Lost. So let's see. All right. So, I'm so pissed. So pissed, Pat. Green Bay -8.5. Hit it. New England Patriots money line. Hit it. Raiders -2. Hit it. Over in the Cincy game. Over 46. Hit it. Over in the Patriots game. Hit it. Tampa Bay money line. Hit it. The only other one that I had to hit was the Saints -4.5 tomorrow night. And those fucking Chiefs fucked me.
Well, Mahomes was the cheat code until this year, man.
And his stupid Mac Jones any touchdown score. So let's the Niners are playing now. So if I get distracted, don't be upset. Let's see. Football. There's got to be a I don't know. I'll mess around with this a little bit and see if we can find what the odds for Kansas City to win the Super Bowl is. If it's plus 1,000, it might be worth putting like
$5 on.
Yeah, if it's plus 1,000, I think you win 5,000.
That's a good bet.
Oh no, it's 50 because it's every 100.
Oh.
So if it's plus 1,000, it's 5 times 10. But if it's like plus 10,000, then you'd win $5,000. Anyway,
let's get into some fucking memes.
Meme time. We got to make an intro for meme time.
In the meantime,
there you go, Pat. I'm sure you like this one. So we got Jon Gruden. EA Sports will be removing Jon Gruden from Madden NFL 22 in the coming weeks. That's crazy. And
that is crazy.
You gonna read the comment below it?
Yeah, the comment under it says, "Can we remove Joe Biden from the White House for being racist in the 80s and 90s, or did we just forget that stuff happened?" Which is a really fucking solid point, man. We go after people when we find out that they did something that we didn't know about. When we know that somebody was a bad person who has turned into a better person, who has increased their value to the rest of us. You know, Jon Gruden isn't sending these emails. Jon Gruden isn't being outwardly homophobic or racist or anti-anything, but because he's adapted to the culture that we live in, and the hatefulness that he put on display in his earlier years was behind closed doors. If that gets exposed, it's a problem. Now, if you were a fucking racist for 30 years and you come out of that world and become a non-racist, everybody's okay with that. As long as everybody knows every single bad thing that everybody else has done, we're good. You can't have a past, at least not a secret one.
Yeah, it's crazy. What's going, like, I just, this poor bastard. You know
Yeah,
what I
the
mean?
fact is, it's the fact that it's new news. New news is why we hate each other, which is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
I kind of hope, well, no, I kind of, like, it'd be cool if the Raiders won the Super Bowl, right? But I would feel bad because John Gruden wasn't there for it. You know what I mean?
I
Because he built that team.
He did.
You know what I mean? And they're winning without him because he built such a good team. So, pretty sad.
The next meme is actually not a meme. You're way out of order in your timeline.
This one.
There we go. This is actually a screenshot of a text message conversation between yourself, me, and my brother Tony, who took a screenshot of Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show and sent a text that says, "I didn't know Pat McAfee was transitioning to be a 60-year-old grandmother. My God, does that tank top fit him poorly?" Which is the gayest observation possible. Let's start there. Tony, what the fuck? Like, that's such a weird thing to text, but it's so funny because you have the hots for Pat McAfee. So everything about this is great to me.
I don't see, like,
McAfee looks like an asshole in his tank top, and Tony sounds like an asshole criticizing him.
I guarantee if he stands up, he's wearing fucking jorts too. What's the problem?
That's fantastic.
Do you know what I love about Pat McAfee the most?
What's that?
Is that he's Pat McAfee and doesn't give a fuck if fucking Tony from Connecticut thinks he looks like a 6-year-old grandmother with his loose tank top on. He's going to wear it anyway and tell you to go fuck yourself.
I don't know how much cooler that makes him, bro.
That makes him fucking awesome. He's not bending to impress anybody. He is who he is.
I'm going to have to make a speakerphone phone call right now.
To Tony?
No. Hey, beautiful. How are you? You're live on the show. Sorry about that. Nope, just me. Jesus is not here right now. I do need Jesus.
Nobody can hear the phone call, Patrick. If that was your point.
Could you bring me down some fresh water, please? Love you. Bye.
Why couldn't you just text her that?
Because I didn't want to be texting while you were talking, so I figured it would be easier to just call her.
Oh, so you thought it'd be easier just to interrupt me and talk?
Well, at least then you were involved.
I really thought you were calling Tony. Yeah, I got super excited that it was Don Lindsay calling in. And
oh, that'd be great.
What a letdown that was. It was just Liz. Anyway, moving on.
We're going to Three Finger News. All the fucking memes that you're putting up there are from the Three Finger News article related to that story.
See, I don't understand, man, because you put memes in, I just grab the memes.
If you just look at the timeline.
I understand that you put them in order, but, like, are we doing memes or are we doing news? Like, I don't know.
But it's in the timeline where it belongs. Like, the timeline is...
I get it, bro. I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I get what you're doing. I'm just saying, whatever. Three Finger News. Let's do it.
All right. Three Finger News. News that's sure to shock you. Tom, the very rare occasion that you find a story and send it into the show has taken place, and it's a fucking doozy. This is a great story.
So I have to give credit where credit's due on this one. I didn't find the story.
Motherfucker.
This was sent to me by one That Bearded Gamer, who is now
number 3.
I got a nice little announcement to make about number 3.
More news about number 3?
Yeah, so I get an email Friday at work, and we did it. I don't want to say he did it. We did it. It was a team effort. Twitch.tv/N09 Gaming is now Twitch affiliate, which means you can now go and subscribe to the channel, which means every time you subscribe, it's a tiered system: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 is $5 a month, tier 2 is $10 a month, tier 3 is $25 a month. We get a portion of that money. You can also donate bits, which is, again, turns into dollars for us. So make sure you go check them out. Twitch.tv/N09 Gaming. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch subscription every month. So if you're not using that, go make a Twitch account and go subscribe to twitch.tv/N09 Gaming. And while you're there, go to twitch.tv/N09 Media and hit the follow button. Let's get both channels affiliated. You know what I mean?
I like it.
I also bought him his capture card.
Nice.
Pat, I want to show the company did not pay for this. I did out of my own pocket.
Well, you definitely should have bought it with company money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all tax write off. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I paid for it, and then the motherfucker couldn't figure out how to use it, so he streamed last night without it.
That's fucking funny as shit.
Yep, real nice.
Let's just walk it over to me. You're not on camera.
Hi, Liz. I can see you.
Fuck, anyways. Come be on camera. Come here. No, give me a kiss.
She doesn't want to be on camera with you, dude.
I touched her boob. Thank you. I love you.
Bye.
She said hi, and you're not even gonna fucking respond. What a dick.
She said bye.
She said bye. Hi, Tom.
Oh, I said hi before she even said hi to me.
Oh, okay. Well,
What about hi to all our listeners out there?
she's gone.
All right, hold on 1 second for me, Pat. All right, Pat, let's hear about this news story that number 3 sent in. You know what's
Sorry,
hot
I
as
was taking a drink.
You know what's hot as shit, yo? Carrie Underwood, man.
Yeah, she's a looker.
Yeah. I'm watching a game. She does that, the NFL Sunday night music.
Yeah. All right. So the headline to the story is "Man Arrested After Shooting at Car Thieves." Tom, I want you to remember the headline to this story. You know what? Repeat it back to me. What's the headline to the story, Tom?
Man arrested after shooting at car thieves. October 6th,
We're gonna
2021.
put all the emphasis in the world on the word "at." Okay. Now this goes right along with our new rules for the media and improperly reporting the news. So I'm going to read the highlighted parts of the story. Evan Wexler, CEO of Meat Innovations Inc., which is also the category of porn that Tony most frequently watches, Meat Innovations. He also is the CEO of Steakhouse Elite. Oh, no, he's a Steakhouse Elite COO. He has caused waves in Fort Lee, New Jersey, after car thieves targeted his exotic and luxury car collection for the 18th time in the past 2 years.
That's more than once every other month.
That is correct.
That's 3/4 of the months.
Tom, he's awoken in the middle of the night, March 25th, 2020, to see the would-be thieves at work outside his home. Before dashing out of his mansion in the nude, he grabbed a loaded AR-15, confronts the men who had broken into his Mercedes G-Wagon. They were clearly going to steal it. It was an attempt to open the security gates for access to his Lamborghinis, McLarens, and Ferraris. Wexler fired a warning shot as the thieves put his luxury SUV into drive and began to pull forward. A move which works since they stopped the vehicle, got out, and fled. However, when the police arrived, Wexler said they were more concerned about his firing a round into the air than tracking down the would-be thieves. Since Wexler says he called the police 25 times since August of 2019, all for attempts on his car collection, his action picked up citations for aggravated assault and possession of weapons for unlawful purposes. The man grudgingly made a deal where he pled guilty to possession of a deadly weapon. According to Wexler, the police didn't seem that interested in helping him solve the problem of the thieves consistently targeting him. Instead, he had to sell all of his guns and is serving 2 years probation, which includes him getting permission to travel. last August, thieves were successful in stealing Wexler's Lamborghini Aventador
Yeah.
SVJ. I don't know what the fuck that is, which is worth over $500,000, which is why I don't know what the fuck that is. When the supercar was located a week later at a house in Newark, it had $80,000 worth of damages. Just to be clear, $80,000 is what he paid in damages or his insurance paid. I assume he paid that out of pocket, so his insurance rates, which are, I'm sure, astronomical, didn't go up at all. He was forced to take a plea deal so that he could get 2 years probation. And now a guy who lives in a mansion and drives McLarens has to ask permission to travel. Let's assume he does that quite a bit for both pleasure and for work. Can you fucking believe this?
It's crazy, bro. I don't know what the gun laws are in New Jersey, but I don't
give a
understand
fuck what the gun laws are in New Jersey.
no.
He fired a shot into the air.
Yeah, but look, the reason why I say I don't know what the gun laws are is because how could he be charged with carrying a firearm for unlawful purposes? Like, I don't. An aggravated assault. He didn't assault anybody.
It depends on the definition of aggravated assault, so we would have to know the laws. But the unlawful purposes, he grabbed an AR-15, ran out of his house, and fired a shot into the air. I would say that is what constitutes unlawful purposes, because he wasn't protecting himself. He was protecting his property. I don't give a fuck. These guys are in a very, very high stakes game. If you're stealing fucking Lamborghinis, you have to know that there's a solid chance you're going to eat a fucking bullet one day. In fact, that's probably your end game. I'm going to live large until I eat a fucking bullet. These guys got lucky as fuck. This guy shouldn't get arrested. He should get a fucking merit badge from your fucking police trooper fucking buddies.
I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
I'm saying this guy did not commit a crime that is worthy of 2 years of probation. And he sure as shit shouldn't be on the hook for the $80,000 in damages to his vehicle. In fact, they should go back and he should be able to get that money from the police department. I've called you guys 25 times in just over 2 years. I want my fucking money for the damage that was caused to my vehicle. I don't know how many times I have to call you guys.
Yeah.
On top of it, his tax money pays the cops that aren't getting the job done. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, luckily we don't live in, our gun laws aren't much better, so yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it was a good story.
Close. Chappelle.
Have you watched the stand-up yet?
No, I have not. I really need to. I love Chappelle.
I'm telling you, I watched a very
You know me though, man. This month is just horror. It's all horror.
It's all horrors? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if
Miss Elizabeth says I'm not allowed to have sex with anybody but her.
Oh, that sucked.
Weird rule, but whatever. It strikes me as a little possessive.
Yeah, I don't know how much is. I mean, we covered it a little bit last show. I watched a really good video that somebody made on Facebook yesterday. Like breaking down like pretty much what I said, that you need to listen to what he's fucking saying in the stand up and realize that he's not talking shit about the LGBTQ community. And
so this story takes a different angle on it. This story embraces that he's talking shit about LGBTQ. Dave Chappelle really used that. Well, this is a quote. Dave Chappelle really used that special as an experiment to prove a point about the LGBTQ community, that you can't say anything about them and they will get offended. But you can say anything and do anything to black people and it's not an issue. So I assume that in this special, knowing Dave Chappelle, he had far more aggressive and far more things to say about the black community.
No, I don't. That was pretty much his point. Was that for years people have talked shit about the black community, and nobody does anything about it. And he gets on stage and makes jokes about transgenders or gays, and he gets crucified that he's transphobic and all these other things, and that their feelings get hurt so much. Look at them though. You know what I mean? Like, look at black people and the shit that they've gone through. He actually has a funny story about a white gay guy that like started a fight with him at a restaurant or some shit and called the cops, and then immediately turned white when the cops showed up. You know what I mean? He was no longer a white gay guy. He was a white guy. You know what I mean? And that was his point. Like, you're not, I don't view the world like that because like I can't relate to either sides of these coins, right? I really can't.
Right.
But I understand his point of view, and I can't really say I 100% agree with it, but I understand it. You know what I mean? And pretty much at the end of the day, when you watch this, he's pretty much preaching the same shit that we preach. We can have conversations about stuff. We need to have conversations about stuff. That's the only way that we're going to fix things. And we can have a difference of opinion. But we need to work together to solve the issues. We need to love one another.
I will say this. I agree with you, but also I have to beg cancel culture to stop attacking a man who is more than happy to walk away from his craft to prove a fucking point. If they keep trying to cancel him, he can just leave. We've seen it before, and we all were worse off for it. The man is fucking brilliant. He's funny. He's smart. And you want to push his buttons and ask him to stop? Why?
And that's one of the things that he says. He goes, fucking push me. I walked away from $50 million.
Yeah, there's like, nothing keeping this guy going.
Yeah, his morals are more to him than money. And that's because, like you said, he walked away from the Chappelle Show because there's a quote in here actually. No, it's not a quote from him, but they were making him make a mockery of himself. Like they wanted him to keep pushing the race shit because that's what was funny. And he's like, nah, I'm good. Like, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to be your pony. So good for him.
Erica said, and that's what his story about the transgender woman was about. You don't have to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to. Yeah, you don't have to understand. You just have to know. Like, or you don't. Yeah, you don't have to follow. Erica's probably going to say it better.
You just have to know that other people are going through stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is.
It would be very easily solved by loving your neighbor.
Pretty much.
All right, Tom. Here we go.
What we got?
Union says Alec Baldwin shot live round in on-set fatal incident. Report notes clarity needed. A live single round was accidentally fired on set by the principal actor, that's Alec Baldwin, hitting both the director of photography, Local 600 member Helena Hutchins, and director Joel Souza. The story goes on. Basically, it fucking hits. It goes through the Helena there, and then it like projects into the other person. I can't remember where it hits the other person, but it was not a place it sounded like I would want to be hit. The clavicle. Yeah. What a shitty place to get shot. Am I right? Do you know what that is? The clavicle?
No.
Okay. These are mine. I guess this is mine.
Right here?
Yeah.
Like your collarbone?
Yeah. Give that a little push. Just a little teeny tiny push.
No, I'm good.
I mean, the shit fucking hurts.
He's lucky he's not dead.
Yeah. I mean, sure, that could have been the throat also. Baldwin notably asked about being handed a hot gun on set. So basically, Baldwin is on the ground after this happens in absolute shock. Like he understands what happened. He's fairly composed, but he repeatedly says, like, why was the gun hot? And he's obviously, so the witness said the 63-year-old actor repeatedly asked why he was given a hot gun. As noted by the outlet, a hot gun is a gun with real ammunition. That's a fucking valid question. Brandon Lee died on the set of The Crow because somebody either had a gun that fired or had a blank that fired. Like, these things go wrong. How the fuck does this happen a second time? these people aren't fucking safe enough to figure this out.
Yeah, I don't understand how, like, why there's live rounds anywhere near a fucking movie set. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's insanity.
Like, the only way in my mind that this happens is somebody brought live rounds and put them into the gun. So who did
I'm
that?
with you on that. Or if it's not that, Alec Baldwin goes over to get, like, you know, a slice of pepperoni, a slice of cheddar cheese, and a Triscuit cracker, and he's going to make himself a little snack. And at the exact same time, the security guy is like, "Man, my utility belt is getting really heavy." So Alec Baldwin puts his toy gun down on the table to make himself the Triscuit sandwich, and the security guard puts his real gun down to just alleviate a little bit of the weight and maybe make some hot cocoa with those little mini marshmallows in it, right? And then when they're getting ready to go back to filming, they each grab the other one's gun by accident, and whammo, there's two people shot on set. But outside of that, or somebody did this shit on purpose, how the fuck could this possibly happen?
Pat, I like your little Triscuit story there.
When you drink hot cocoa, do you like the little marshmallows? I'm not gonna lie, they add so much to the drink.
I think it really adds. Yeah, boy, Niners scored. I have no idea what happened because I'm doing this podcast, but the Niners scored. 8 plays, 78 yards, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. That's what I'm talking about. Jimmy G's back, baby. I think he threw a touchdown. Hold on a second. We're gonna see. Go. Oh no, rushing touchdown. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, cool.
For all of you on FanDuel, Jimmy G throwing a touchdown pass does not count as him scoring a touchdown.
Unless he runs it in. Or somehow throws it to himself. In fantasy, if he throws the ball to himself, does that count as 2 touchdowns?
I think it should.
But does it?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a quarterback throw the ball to himself?
I'm not sure that I have.
How the fuck would he?
I saw Derrick Henry throw the ugliest touchdown pass in history. Did you see that shit?
I think Griff had him because he said, imagine a guy who has Henry to score a touchdown today, but the only touchdown he has is a throwing touchdown. So I think Griff had him as a prep bet to score a touchdown today.
He's a fucking monster. Why would you ever have him throw? I guess because nobody would ever expect it because he's a fucking great.
Yeah, it was like having J.J. Watt do it when he was with the Texans all the time.
Yeah. Baldwin, since this incident, has released the following statement. Before I read this, whoever fucking Baldwin's publicist is the most poignant, fucking just brilliant writer, because this statement is perfect. He said, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred, and I am in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family." One, I hope all of that is true. Two, that is perfectly well put. And I don't see anybody breaking Alec Baldwin's balls about being a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there are groups of people working behind the scenes right now to figure out how they can make him look like an asshole. The same groups that go after Dave Chappelle and the same groups that go after guys that shoot guns off in the air and then they write stories about how they shot it at people. The same fucking thing.
Erica said, I saw a tweet that union members were replaced by non-union workers when union workers walked off. Not sure how true.
That's interesting. Still doesn't explain how you get the fucking live round, but it's interesting that switch would happen.
They were probably fired because they weren't vaccinated. You know what I mean?
I legitimately, that was my first thought, was they probably walked because they didn't want to get vaccinated.
Dude, did you hear, like, not to get off topic too much, but did you hear, so our boy Biden did a town hall address the other day on CNN with Anderson Cooper?
I did not.
And he got the crowd to applaud the fact that they were firing first responders because they were not vaccinated. Like, how do you applaud at that?
I don't fucking know, man. You know what? While we're talking about the president and the cabinet Fucking R.I.P. Colin Powell. He was a good man. That sucks.
He died? When did he die?
Jesus fuck, Tom. Really?
When did he? Dude, I didn't get any sort of update that said Colin Powell died.
I feel like I already know the answer to this question. I'm a little bit scared, but is my timeline the only place where you get your news?
Pat,
I hope not.
I'm gonna look at my phone right now, okay? And I'm gonna because I have multiple news updates all day, every day. Did you hear that James Michael Tyler died? Did you know who that is?
I don't have a fucking clue who that is.
It's Gunther from Friends. He died today.
You know that, but you don't know that Colin Powell died. Gunther from Friends.
I got Peter Scolari, known as for his roles in Bosom Buddies and Newhart, has died. Alec
That's
Baldwin
definitely
releases-
bosom buddies.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have anything in here that says Colin Powell died. Are you getting bamboozled?
Do you want to know why that it's not? Do you want to know why it's not there?
Because he's not dead?
No, because he died a week ago, bro. He died last week.
What? Did he really? Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not a guess. I'm positive.
I feel like I would have heard that, dude. Like, I listen to the news almost every day.
Well, you did hear it right now, right here, live on the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. Updating San Francisco 49er fans
Oh, shit.
since 2021.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he did die.
Are you fact checking the death of Colin Powell right now?
I just wanted to make sure you didn't get bamboozled, bro. Wow, he was 84 years old. And guess what they called his death, Pat? Guess cause of death.
COVID.
Yep. Didn't see that one coming. Jeez.
Everybody dies from COVID. Otherwise, we can't fight the bubonic plague numbers.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Colin Powell, man. That's sad. Also,
all right, moving from that to a much
R.I.P. to Gunther, man. Like that's too bad.
He's definitely not going to be able to fuck Jennifer Aniston now, unless she's into that kind of thing. We did do that story about that chick who got pregnant from the dead guy.
What? Oh yeah, and forgot about that.
I'm pretty sure that was the birthplace of Three Finger News. All right, Tom. Our first meme in reference to the Alec Baldwin story is Alec Baldwin's head superimposed on Tupac's body, and the lyrics from the song Hail Mary, in which he says, "I ain't no killer, but don't push me," which is fucking amazing.
That's fucked up, bro.
They actually could have included the next line. The next meme is the cover of Top Gun, but superimposed on Tom Cruise's body is Alec Baldwin's head, and it says Prop Gun.
Oh my god!
And the last one that I could find is a conversation between a man and a woman, and the man, it just with the asterisks, it says "comes inside." And then the woman says, "You better be shooting blanks." And then it goes back to the guy, and it is Alec Baldwin with a shitty grin. These memes were all from the same day this took place, by the way.
That's fucking horrible.
People ripped this to shreds.
That's fucked up.
All right, one more story, Tom.
Oh, I
The
heard
title
about
of the
this.
story is "Serving Burgers as the Government Takes It In and Out."
Yeah.
So the restaurant chain In-N-Out Burger made waves this week when it refused to enforce a COVID-19 vaccine mandate for customers in San Francisco, temporarily closing down a location, making it clear the company refuses to become the vaccination police for any government. A user from Florida noted in a viral tweet, "San Francisco politicians want to make it clear you can steal $949 worth of goods and nobody should stop you, but you need documentation for a double-double with fries." Tom, that is a reference to, they just recently changed a rule in California. Not recently, sorry. In 2014. California's Proposition 47, passed in 2014, may have caused some of this backlash, if you will. The proposition increased the threshold for thefts to be considered a felony from $400 to $950. They more than doubled the amount that you have to steal for it to be felony. So, the crime for stealing $949 worth of a small business owner's property is less than the crime for serving a cheeseburger. Here's the thing about serving a cheeseburger that we really, really need to understand. This is a direct quote from In-N-Out Burger. Our store properly and clearly posted signage to communicate local vaccination requirements. After closing our restaurant, local regulators informed us that our restaurant associates must actively intervene by demanding proof of vaccination and photo identification from every customer. Then act as enforcement personnel by barring entry for any customers without the proper documentation. You need your driver's license to get a cheeseburger, but not to vote. Put these fucking pieces together. I swear to God, a fucking cheeseburger. If you just want a bottle of water or a Coke, you got to show ID and proof of vaccination, but it is immoral to ask me to show one to vote. These are the same fucking people, both arguments.
That's a great point, Pat. I didn't even think of that.
These people are fucking idiots. I never took a stance on the voting thing. I never did, because I get it. If you want to make that a rule, it's a rule. I follow the rules. But you can't make two different rules that are two completely different sets of logic. It's not fucking fair.
Yeah, but they can't. And they do.
They clearly have. Now, I don't live in California. I don't visit California. I don't look at California. I don't wave to Californians. I would never. If my mother lived on the opposite side of California, I would drive around the fucking state to go say hi. But they get worse and worse by the second.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there.
I used to have this thing when I was a kid. I thought, because they talk about San Diego is going to fall into the water one day because of an earthquake. Like the amount of land under it, it should split from the United States and go underwater. I hope they've miscalculated. I hope California as a whole goes fucking underwater, and the only one who gets out in time is Alec Baldwin, because he is innocent. That's it. That's where I'm at.
Little off topic of this, but the gas. My uncle is on California. Gas just hit $5 a gallon out there.
You mentioned that on the last podcast, but that's California. We're going to have two fucking segments on this show. How Floridian is that? And, that's California.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I fucking hate that place.
Another thing that my boy Biden said in that, at that town hall was that Fox News requires everybody to be vaccinated, which is untrue. Like, and nobody calls out this guy for blatantly lying on national TV. It's fucking crazy to me.
Again, if we knew you were a bad person before you got to where you got to, it's okay. The problem is when we didn't know you were a piece of shit before. Everybody knew this guy was a piece of shit. So it's not a problem because he's better than he was.
Well, the only reason they're not trying to get him
saying much.
The only reason they're not trying to get him out of office is because the other one is a bigger piece of shit than he is, and I'm talking about Kamala Harris.
So to wrap this story up,
hold on. He also said that he went down to that he's been down to the border before, back in like when he was vice president, and that too was a lie, and that he's never fucking been there ever.
What he meant was he went to the border. And by border, he meant the closest airport to the border. And the reason he went to the airport was to switch planes to go on vacation. He didn't say he was on the border for official duty.
That's actually pretty close. He flew there he flew into El Paso to go to a rally that was like 2 hours north of there.
God, I'm good. I bet it was a KKK rally. Anyways, to wrap up this story, language for the private business mandate has yet to be established. According to the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Department of Labor plans to issue an emergency temporary standard in a matter of weeks. Quote, implementing the new requirement, which will cover 80 million private sector workers, Businesses that don't comply can face fines of up to $14,000 per violation, officials said. Tom, let's take a large, small company, okay, or a small company by any other definition. We can call it a large company, but it's still a small company. Let's call it, I have 100 people on staff. If you have 100 people on staff and don't follow this mandate, it's $14,000 per person. Do you think that you could continue to conduct business?
No.
No. So they're not setting laws in place to help businesses continue to conduct business. They're putting laws in place to make you follow or you're out. That's it.
You will obey. You will obey. You will obey.
This is quickly getting out of hand. The government is all over the place. What really needs to happen is they need to make rules about vaccines for individuals to follow. Individuals need to make a decision. I will follow the law. I will not follow the law. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. Business law, generally speaking, is to protect the consumer, not the individual, right? The laws in place are so that you can't charge me $1,000 for a $10 thing and tell me that it's worth $1,000. That's how the government can protect me from businesses. You can't protect me from walking into a business. That's you hurting the business.
Yeah.
This is fucking insanity.
It really is, man. It's fucked, man. It's fucked.
Bro, have you ever forgotten your license at home? I mean, ever. Have you ever forgotten your license at home?
Yeah, I got pulled over without my license on me and got a ticket.
How did that go?
It went pretty well. I gave him all my information. He found it. He knew that I had a license, gave me a ticket for driving without a license, said, send in a picture of your license, not guilty, and it'll get knowledge.
All right. All these questions are going to tie together. Tom, were you around Colin's mom when she was pregnant?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. She ever hit you with a weird craving like pickles and ice cream or anything? Did she have any weird shit?
Yes.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Okay. Tom, I'm going to give you a weird shit that maybe she craved. We don't know. Maybe she wanted an In-N-Out burger. Now, Tom, it's like 10 o'clock at night. You leave the house, you forget your fucking license at home. It happens. You've done it before. But this crazy ass woman who's pregnant wants her fucking In-N-Out burger. Now you go through the drive-through. There was a line because it's a popular restaurant. You finally get to the window and they're like, let me see your ID. Now you got to go home to this crazy ass pregnant woman with no double-double. This law is dangerous for potential fathers. I mean, people are going to get hurt over this shit.
You're a fucking idiot.
This is a sick and twisted fucking law.
Pat. I like that double name. That's like us. We're double size.
That's right. I will say the Daily Wire tweeted this. The Daily Wire has well over 100 employees. We will not enforce Joe Biden's unconstitutional and tyrannical vaccine mandate. We will use every tool at our disposal, including legal action, to resist this overreach. More to come. Now, here's the thing. Like them or don't like them, the Daily Wire has a bunch of these things on staff that are called really, really smart people. They're going to pave a path for people to go after the government for negatively affecting their business.
I hope so.
In this particular case, listen, I'm not jocking the Daily Wire's dick or anything like that. But in this particular case, the Daily Wire is being about as fucking American as you can possibly hope a company would be, because they're going to take all the power that they have and fight for what's right. And for that, I super support, and I'm very grateful to the Daily Wire for just standing up for themselves, because all they're going to do is open fucking floodgates for other people to stand up for themselves.
Pat,
good for them.
It's time for revolution.
I'm not sure that we need a revolution. What we need is logic, and we need to fucking love our neighbor.
Yeah, it's time to overthrow the government.
The thoughts you've heard on this program are not necessarily the thoughts of the Number 9 Media or any of its affiliates, even though Tommy said it himself.
I'm just saying, it's time to overthrow the government. I'm not saying that we should.
You know who should have to carry a blue bucket at Halloween?
Hey?
People who don't care about the well-being of other people. Never mind making people
They
that
do.
live
That's
with
why
autism.
they do. That's why the Democrat Party is blue.
That's fucked up. I really think that and not just when you're walking around, you shouldn't have to carry a blue bucket. When you answer your door, if you're just a piece of shit, okay, if you work in the White House for the most part and you answer that fucking door to give out candy, you should be holding a blue bucket so people know that's a piece of candy that I may or may not really want. Maybe I don't want to take any handouts from this piece of shit today.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
I fucking hate California.
It's not even California though, man. It's other places doing this shit too, man. It's
No,
all
I
over.
agree, but I hate California the best.
I don't know what happened. Did they have that revote for their governor? I don't know if they ever had that revote.
What happened with Erica? She said, and now the number 9 with Tommy is canceled. Thanks for the support. Why'd you say that?
Because I said that we need to overthrow the government? Or that we hate California?
Yeah. That's probably what it was. No, I'm allowed to hate California. Fuck that.
Oh, but I'm not allowed to say it's time to overthrow the government?
That's borderline.
How is it borderline? The government's supposed to work for us. We're not supposed to work for the government.
Well, the government does not work. I don't know about work for us, work for themselves. They don't work at all. That fucking thing is broken.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we need to get more people like you or I into office to overthrow and take over. We got to drain the swamp.
If people like you and I take that office, you're not going to see a lot of politicians die at 84 like Colin Powell. We're going out around 60.
Facts. No cap on a stack. All right. Well, good news. Niners are still up 7-9. I'm going to finish watching this game. Get this shit uploaded for tomorrow. Pat, what are you doing tonight?
How did the 49ers end up with 9 points when they scored a touchdown?
I would assume that they missed an extra point.
Jesus, this happens so often nowadays. Tonight, I will be canoodling with Miss Elizabeth. She has requested a movie date, so we will be watching a movie, and hopefully that ends with
coitus,
a romantic activity. Nice. Way to play us out. And with that, I say good day.
Double. Thanks for watching. We out.